few weeks ago, I was playing a game on the computer to relax before going back to the regularly scheduled program of chores and work. Ken was deep into editing Trinity Talk Live, and the kids were doing homework. So no one was paying attention to how I was struggling to complete this difficult level on this match 3 items in a row game that you have on your phones and on computers. No one cared about my frustration, and why should they? It's a silly little game, right? I play it to relax me, and it usually does. And then I hit one of those levels. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. You spend days on them, being just one move away from completing the level. If you just had that one more move. You almost get so frustrated with the game's creators that you are willing to quit playing this game forever. Well, I hadn't gotten to that particular point on this day. My frustration was actually pretty mild. I was just going to give up the level as a lost cause for the day and just move on to those chores and that work. So I said out loud, not that any of my family would have heard me, this level is impossible. It would take divine intervention for me to complete it. Then I shrugged and I thought, what do you say, God? One more try for you? So I clicked the try again button, and away we went, me and God, playing a match 3 game just for the fun of it. I know you can guess what happened. Yep, we finished that level together, me and God, and with so many moves to spare. I laughed, and of course my family heard that, and they wanted to know what was so funny. So I told them that I love God's sense of humor, his sense of joy when we surrender to him. And I explained all that had happened to them. And I know what you're thinking, because my 10-year-old son probably said something very similar to me. Of course, he called me Mom, but you're probably thinking, Mary Kay, God doesn't care about a computer game. And to an extent, I agree with you. But I want to remind you that our relationship with God is like a child to a father. If you have children, you understand this. You will sit and watch that kid's show with them, no matter how annoying it is. You will learn that game that their 4-year-old mind came up with, and you'll play it with them, even though the rules keep changing, or they make very little sense to you. You will learn the rules of the sport they have chosen to play. You'll cheer them on, and you're going to yell at those refs for that bad call, even though it probably wasn't a bad call at all. You are a parent who loves their children, cares about what's important to them, and finds joy in their joy. And that's the way God loves us. So, I believe that God found joy in playing that game with me, in my joy at completing this impossible level, and more to the point, in my total surrender to him, my total trust in him at that moment, in that little thing. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." And many of you may be still stuck on this whole, but you were playing a silly little game thing. Why would God care? But I know that when I see him being faithful to me in these small, inconsequential things, it makes it easier to trust that he will not fail me in the more important things. I know that God finds delight in nudging me, reminding me that he's there, saying, "Hey, Mary Kay, remember me? Just ask. I'm walking this journey with you. You're holding my hand. And yes, I will even play silly little games with you, my child." So I encourage you to be his child this week. Take hold of his hand. Ask him to be with you in the small things. Watch him work. Find joy in his delight in you. Trust him by surrendering to him in the big things and in the small. Now go play some games with God. Have fun.